if you really understand what lawyers do, it's a performance.
Picky, picky, ponky, pacamielo disco.
Leave that guy alone.
I know that in 2022 elections, you vied for a seat.
Yes.
In Karen, is it true that you need deep pockets?
It's very true.
It's true.
Oh, 100%.
So people will not just vote for you because you have good character.
Kenyans. Kenyans don't care about good character. There's one guy, remember, I told him, I'm running my campaign and I'm not giving anyone money. And he laughed. He laughed. He went to the other corner, laughed over there, came back, laughed again, and was like,
that was the biggest joke he has
you can't be serious. Why is corruption a problem? We are lazy and greedy. The problem isn't the politicians, it's Kenyans. How is it humanly fair that this guy who really wanted to do great things for you, you never spared a chance to fleece this guy? And you expect when they sit there, they will not fleece you at all? How?
They win the seat wounded as well.
They win the seat very wounded. And now when you see a politician who's been in the game for 30 good years, they have endured Kenyans for 30 good years. And then that guy becomes president. You really honestly believe, in all fairness, that you expect the first order of business
to take care of you?
Not even my wife.
What do you think is the silliest law we have in this nation?
I think the
If you are to invent a law about relationship or marriage, what law would that be?
To go through mandatory life skills for about 1 year. Financial management, emotional quotient classes, and therapy, so that you deal with the past and self-esteem and all those things. You have to be certified, like it's something you submit as the Attorney General to get a marriage certificate.
Wow.
Yes.
As a lawyer who has ventured into politics, is it possible in Kenya to become someone significant, both in terms of influence and wealth, by just doing things the right way?
It's possible to be clean in this country and to make it. Very possible.
I don't believe you.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man.
Sudi, I want you to introduce this episode for us.
Okay.
So this is what you are going to do.
Okay.
You're going to say, "What's up, guys?" I want you to remove it from here.
What's up, guys? Okay.
You start as an ahewa.
That's when you okay.
What's up?
Okay. So, what's up, guys?
Anyway, guys, welcome to the Truest Measure podcast, where we celebrate men and the brilliant things that they are doing. So our guest today is someone very special. We go way back in high school, Light Academy, back when it was Light Academy, the original Light Academy, when it was still back there at Ngong Road. I have some questions for him, some very interesting questions.
Okay.
And as you've seen on the title, Men and Law. So, Sudi, let me give you the privilege of introducing yourself.
All right.
Because I don't think I'll do it justice.
Okay.
Yeah, I've interacted with you, and you're a lawyer, so you have a way with words.
What? Okay.
You know how to describe things and people. So I think the first question that I have for you, who is the man, Sudi Mairura?
Well, it's a big question because I'm not just my name or my career.
Okay.
I am a brother, a friend, someone's son, and a lover of Christ. So, yeah, basically that. Okay. I am a happy person. I like enjoying life and stuff, and I'm a creative as well. That is me in a nutshell.
I find that very interesting because we were just discussing the production team earlier. For a lot of people, when you ask them, who are you? They start telling you the things they do. rather than who they really are. So I really like the angle that you've taken. So what led you to practicing law?
Oh my God.
I don't know if you remember, but I remember this. I have weird memories. I remember strange things.
Okay.
So I remember this some time back to Kiwa High School.
Okay.
Remember that fence we used to sit at the basketball?
Yes.
You know, that platform.
Yes.
And I remember we were discussing with some people and we were talking about the things we were going to do after school, our career prospects.
Okay.
This was Kitambo, it must have been 2006.
Uh-huh.
And I remember you saying very, very well, you want to go to Hollywood.
Yes.
I don't know if still that's still the
yes.
dream.
No.
It's not the
no,
dream.
I am done.
So how did you end up in law?
I've always loved acting. I've acted. I still do a bit of theater actually. I help one of my mentors. They are a director for it was a drama fest.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah, high school. So I teach.
Yeah.
Basically, I teach and I also choreograph dances.
Okay.
So that side of me has always been there. Sioni kai tena mahali. Yeah, even as recent as Christmas, I did our church's cantata. So I was literally, we were doing it was like a talk show. So so we were just taking people back with skits and all the carols.
Yeah.
So it's all there.
Yeah.
I watch movies like a crazy person. I am those people who know actors and their mothers, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I've always loved it. I think it was myself and also our friend Joel Moriasi, Obogi.
Yes, Obogi.
Yes,
He's in
we
Turkey.
literally made made a pact almost like we are going to Hollywood, we are doing this. So he pursued the dream. So he's doing film production.
Wow.
I think he's really big as well on YouTube in Turkey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've seen him doing
I think
some interviews.
he called himself like the African YouTuber or something in Turkey, which is fascinating to
them,
to the Europeans and whatever Turkeys are Turkish.
I think you've broken a lot of perceptions.
Okay.
Because the perception I've had about lawyers, you guys are buried in your books.
No.
Always reading.
I'm telling you, yes, we read a lot. For sure, we read a lot. As in, I've not read a novel in the past maybe 4 years, but I've read academic work like nobody's business. Like I don't even have time to read anything else.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you really understand what lawyers do, it's a performance. It's a performance. So you are up there, you have an audience. Leave that guy alone. So it's a performance. You have your script because you have to sit down and draft your submissions. And you sit down and draft the questions you'll ask. If you are doing like a cross-examination at trial, you dress the part. See costume and deca. And now you have to convince your adjudicator. It is literally.
We don't have a jury system.
No, we don't have a jury system, but we might as well because the system we have, it's called adversarial system, where two people argue it out and convince the judge. In those systems that have juries, it's an inquisitorial system. So the judge questions and finds out and all that. So that it's a jury. If someone elects, like I think the US, someone elects that the jury decides, the jury will be the decider, and then the judge will give like a sentence and stuff like that. Either way, it's all a performance. So you have your script, you master your lines, you know what you're going to say, and perform it. That's why we have all those, braggadocious words and all those interesting words we put up there, the sayings and idioms and all those things we put up there to be convincing, because they're now literally devices to just influence using your words and your logic. But at the end of the day, the beauty of law is your logic and the proof that you have always takes the day. So that is where it stops being performance and now it becomes not properly
the truth.
You come to the not really truth, to what the law can substantiate at a particular given moment. Because I've won many cases but I've lost some as well because I couldn't
Are there
display.
cases you knew that you were right, but you still lost?
Yes. Oh, yes. I think those are the ones that take you back.
Yeah. What does law do to you as a man? Where do you think your masculinity resonates with you doing law? And not any other career that you could have picked? Because you are a smart guy in school, I remember. So out of all the things you could have done.
Well, you had asked something. Why I picked law over Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think it comes from there.
Yeah.
Well, really like the final year of high school. And do you remember back where school was on the other side is when they opened the Pizza Inn.
Yes, just behind the wall.
Just behind the wall.
Yeah.
They'd opened the Pizza Inn.
Yeah.
It was when now Fast and Furious 4 was out, Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And the kids used to come and drift back there.
Yeah.
It was like a spectacle for us in high
And
school. You know?
And then now, the way Light Academy was built at
Yes.
the time, it wasn't a school. I think it was an estate or something.
Yeah.
And then they just hired it out
Yeah.
before they built the actual school in Karen.
Yeah.
So we used to peep outside the windows just to see what's happening,
Yes.
at
Yes.
Pizza Inn, Gong Road, behind there. So
Yes.
we saw a lot of stuff.
So now
yeah.
I was like, I just looked at it and I was like, by the way, how much is pizza? You know, like to get a proper pizza is like 1,000 bob. Like, but how much is cheese and what does it cost to make a pizza that is selling for 1,000 bob? I thought it has to be the biggest rip-off of all time. But you should see the frenzy on a terrific Tuesday on Gong Road. And I was like, you know what? You just need money and set up a chain of fast food restaurants. Senor. So, and I'll I'll live my life, I'll act and, all those things because there's money coming in. So that was the idea. So I talked to, I don't know if you must remember Mr. Murat.
Yes, I remember Mr. Murat.
Now he was our principal and our class teacher when we were final year. And Mr. Murat really was a cool guy.
He had glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coolest guy, like really someone I hold dear. So I talked to him, maybe in passing about, like starting a chain of restaurants, even put up like a training, like some sort of exchange program on the notice board for anyone who wanted to get into hotel management. I'm not sure if anyone really noticed it, but I figured he's doing this for me, because he was cool like that. He wouldn't do favor, but he was like,
He was very intentional.
He was very intentional. He knew this is the effect. So I never picked it up. I don't know why I was so dumb. I really don't know why. So Mr. Murat, wherever you are, I'm sorry. I figured it. I don't know how long later. I'm really sorry, but thank you for supporting my dreams. But now, well, I guess God wants someone to be somewhere. So now I figured I'll need capital. How do I get to capital? I have some relatives who are lawyers and I've seen. And I was like, I'll just go do law. Get my big check, start my chain of restaurants, and I'll be in court and act and all that. And also law had served another interesting purpose. Our generation is the one that you can't go home and tell your parents, I want to be an actor. You will be,
especially if they're short school fees.
You will be shot down. So it's killed a few birds. So that's how the idea of law came into my head. And now I was confused because now it's not completely what I wanted. It's not really it. At the same time I was really good with sciences and stuff like that. So I was figuring maybe I'd be like some sort of engineer and then I'll do whatever. So I'm getting to like the point of identity. So you see at that place where, different reasons give you different ideas for what you'll do in the future. You get into this place where you are now confused because you don't know what to do. And without identity, you can't lead. Because you don't know yourself. Who are you leading, where to, how?
I love that.
That's the thing. So now when I'm done with high school, and high school was crazy, if you remember. High school was crazy. Those are stories you'll have to come another day with me. So being in high school, we did all sorts of crazy stuff. And it continued until now when we had cleared high school, we've gotten our results, and it's like that we had a period before joining campus in our year. It's not like these days you just go straight. Yeah. So that 1 year or so, we were still going out and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. That's when I know God really came back into my life and sort of called me back. So I stopped. Like, I remember on this particular day, we were just hanging out with my friends. Tulikuwa sawa miraa manzi. Tulikuwa tu na base, tunakula miraa and makali, and the place still exists today. It's me pale Kenol, when you coming from Nairobi Academy, Kenol, so Kenol, Ruby's now, Ruby's. So now on this side, I don't know if it still exists. It used to be Mama Black's. So that's why we used to get like our kegs and cheap liquor. And then across on this side, next to the petrol station, was just a field at a Catholic church. So the field was just open for everyone. I don't know why. It was just open. Because they have like 2 gates. They have one to the field and one to the offices. They never sent us away for some reason. So we would just chill at that field, got our stuff, nini. While I was there, feeling like I was wasting away in my life, is when God talked to me. And yes, I am those people who God actually spoke to. Weird, but believe it, it happened. So God tells me, come back to church. Remember, I was at a Catholic church there. So when you check from that Catholic church, at the time, I was still living in Rongai. So you're coming to Rongai, on your left is Sitamkare. So I saw this bongas church and I was like, yes, I'll go to this church. No other reason. Like, it just sort of...
it just stood out for you.
Stood out for me. I joined Sitamkare. Joined the youth. It's an active nini. It used to be really fun back in the day. So one of the things we did, now I'm starting to pursue God and like really do stuff the right way. We did missions. When we went there's one particular mission we did. This time, Sunana bado ni a transition period. I'm still figuring stuff out. Unajua, hivyo. So when we were at a mission, we had gone to Meru. So Meru is green, you can imagine. When you think about it, we had gone there to deliver food. It's an ironical situation. It didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to date. And while we're handing out food, this particular thing changed my life. I was about to move a sack of maize for handing over to the lines that all these ladies with kids on their backs crying in the queues to Nawapatia. So we're giving them like 2 kg of maize and 3 kg of beans. That was one donor. And then the other donor was giving like 4 kg of maize and 6 kg of beans, like that. So I asked, so how many times do these people get this food? I'm told once every 6 months. So this was the second shocker. One, we're giving food in probably the greenest part of our country. One of them. And then secondly, they give this food once every 6 months. Even if you planted, you will die before they mature. If you are depending on it. So that is when I got the sense that there's something deeply wrong about the society we live in. And I was like, God, I've been asking, what do I do with myself? Because I'm at a point where I've passed my exams. Like, I had all the grades. I could literally pick where I had to go. So I was confused. So I'm like, God, whatever I do, I want to help the lady who was there. And this is why. When I was picking the sack, I was telling you, a bit of maize pours from like a small hole into like a handful. So this lady comes in front of me, weirdly. Amekuja hapo, amesimama, ananiangalia. So I'm like, okay, what? The line is over there. Make the line, you'll get your stuff. There's no way you'll get from me. And we are many. So you can't be greedy. So she never moved, she didn't flinch. Just looked at me. So I picked the sack, put it where I was supposed to. So when I turn around to see...
She was collecting the ones...
Not just collecting, she literally pounced on the handful of maize. Pounced. Unajua venye pako rukia Come a lion, hiding so that no other person will
Comes
see
to get
the
it.
handful of maize on the ground. That is when I was like, I have to help people.
That has to do something to
Yeah,
you.
I want to be the person because I don't think, say, if I did engineering, I can't have enough money to help all these people. What people need is someone who can mobilize the people who can do something about it, and they do something about it. So I got very interested into the poverty game. And in my naivety, I thought, who talks on behalf of people? A lawyer. So that's how I settled. Me, I'm going to be a lawyer to help people, you know. And it sort of solidified who I am today. Because what I do really is to help people. And it's what I don't like the word passion, but it's what really resonates with me the most in my career. Like, I've gone to court, I've done all these things, and hopefully I'll move away. I've settled that I just want to do stuff that helps people. You know, simple and clear. So that gives me identity as a man. Unaona? And that's how I kissed Hollywood goodbye. But even before that, I was telling you some other time that I had done production for a while. I don't like what you guys do. Sorry. It's something, you know. It's not what we see on the other side. So I was back, I was on the back end of production. I dealt with actors, I'm sorry. I dealt with crew. I am telling you, I don't like those people.
It's not as shiny as it looks on screen.
It's not as shiny. As in, yes, I've met wonderful people in my career. Awesome people. But the sort of stress and the pressures you guys do, please.
I love the whole thing of you want to help people. And I think this ties to the next question.
Okay.
I know that in 2022 elections, you did what only brave Kenyans do. You vied for a seat. Not just anywhere. In Karen.
Serious,
you know that. You know, Karen is higher middle class. Higher middle class don't care about politics.
But that's just
most
perception.
Of them, you know.
That's just perception.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
They really do. Who are the higher middle class?
They are not filthy rich, but they are not struggling. They are comfortable. So a lot of things that the mama mbogas and what boda bodas are struggling with, they are not feeling it.
But what do you think they do for a living, this person?
Doctors, some of them, lawyers, some of them, IT,
So,
the common careers that we hear about.
Okay, so the group you're saying is just a bit higher than the common careers.
Yes.
Just a bit higher. Kwa sababu, these are the guys who are running businesses on a large scale kidogo. Unaona? By and large. Unaona? So if this is you, ama you have like a major farm somewhere, you know, do you know the amount of regulation you have to face? You know, the amount, this is your daily life.
But isn't that just something that came recently?
No. It's always been like that. You always have to fight the local politicians for you to thrive. As long as in this country, it is just a given. If you don't know this one fact, take it from me. You need to know it today. You know, there is a ceiling. There is the glass ceiling. You know, that is politics. And this is what now your average middle high income person is facing on a daily. You see, so they're very concerned that the people who watch news, you know, the rest of us watch news to see the part where, you know, who died, you know, and what accident happened and who passed some exam or whatever. But these are the people who are waiting to see what is our president going to announce. What sort of problem will I have with my ranch in the next week? You know, what sort of issue will prop up. So they're very invested in what sort of regulation will be there. And these are the people living in Karen. And you might think they don't vote. And I think it's a misconception.
What exactly were you vying for?
I just did MCA. MCA of Karen Ward.
Is it true that you need deep pockets?
It's very true.
It's true.
100%.
So people will not just vote for you because you have good character.
Kenyans don't care about good character.
Okay.
Kenyans do not care about.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
As a lawyer who has ventured into politics,
Yes.
is it possible in Kenya to become someone significant, both in terms of influence and wealth, by just doing things the right way?
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
It's possible.
You didn't have to collude with some corrupt, powerful person somewhere. You didn't have to step on someone to get over to the next level. You just did things right. You didn't have to bribe anyone.
Yes.
Is it possible?
It's possible. It's
To be clean and
it's possible to be clean in this country and to make it. Very possible.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. There is a group of people. There is a group of people, serious Christians, in different places, who are waiting for someone like you to actually step up and do the right thing with them.
Okay.
There is.
Okay.
It's hard. It's not going to be as timely as, you know.
It's not going to be.
It's not going to be quick. But they are there. Okay. I've seen them, I've met them. I've met them. People doing crazy. You will not believe what people are doing. Okay. People I've met and, well, I hope to work with. Yeah. Because these are now, some of them are my mentors, people I just look up to, you know. So these are people who are doing crazy things and they are doing it over.
So there is hope.
There is hope. There's always been hope. Okay. Like I was telling you just now, our biggest problem in the country is corruption. Why is corruption a problem? Because we have two things that are the running psyche of Kenyans. We are lazy and greedy. Two things, not even nothing else. You know, and it reflects all over the place. So
we want shortcuts.
So we don't have to put effort. That's laziness. And we want the most out of the shortcut. That's greediness. You know. So that's why things are happening the way they are. Unaona? And because it's a behavioral problem. You know, there's a way we like saying, you will hear it all the time. We are fighting corruption. Corruption isn't some animal, you know, hiding, patching, you know, at the foot of Ngong Hills, ready to jump on the Nairobi residents and unajua otherwise. It's not. Corruption is what you do and what I do.
It's a mentality.
It's a behavior. You know, and we can decide to stop. Corruption is that you sit here and you are for sure hopeless that you won't get the next tender unless you give a kickback. Okay. You're seated here, you can't get your passport to just travel to Tanzania. You know, or Uganda. If you don't pay someone,
so
you know,
it's the willingness to do whatever it takes, so even if that whatever
the willingness
is not,
for the person who's supposed to do not to do anything until they get some reward that isn't, say, their salary for their job, and the willingness for us to sponsor
participate in that.
You know, that's where the corruption is. Because now we are like, I'm frustrated, yes. I would like to do the right thing, yes. But I can't do anything because this guy has refused. Yet,
there's nothing you can do.
You can literally do something. That's the magic of it. You can get there and shout. You can just stand there at immigration and with your papers and shout and say, no! Oh, sorry. I'm not giving you any money for this.
How practical?
So it will be frenzy. It's as practical as I'm saying. It's just crazy. You know, it is unheard of. It's crazy. If we actually stand up and be confident and do something, we don't do anything. That's the point. The only thing we do is we just sleep over. Because if we actually cause a frenzy, and this is something I've learned from like the West, Wazungus generally, they do not simply lay back and see things go
because
wrong.
You're speaking and I'm thinking, how many times have we seen the media do this investigative journalism where they go with hidden cameras and we see corruption live on our screens and nothing changes?
So I don't know. I think also we've become galvanized against now the wrong things that happen in our country. So now we are so used to it that it doesn't shock us. It doesn't move us evil. So until it pinches you, you know, like currently I know like Kenyans right now are being pinched.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully
we wake up.
that galvanization hasn't made them completely dead. You know, numb to the pain of this, because the problem is that after this change, you know, after this pain, when something
like
small
we get
happens,
used to it,
we forget.
Yeah.
We forget that all this pain has happened and all those things, and we go straight into bringing back the same leadership, the same crop of leaders. Like, you know, why didn't we vote for pastor guy? You know, for change to hata kama ni nini. We know this.
Just have a
why
different
didn't
thing.
we vote for like the weed guy?
Yeah.
You know, why? Just for a change. You know, just to try. It's we recycle the same people. The same people all over the place. So there's one, we shouldn't cry because it's a consequence of our choices. You see. So you see, what you learn quickly, and that's why I don't blame any politician. You learn quickly when you run that the problem isn't the politicians, it's Kenyans. You know?
Okay.
You see, because I know for a fact, without fear of favor, I saw the person who won the seat implementing my ideas. You know, and you can take me to court for this. I can prove it. You know, implementing my ideas, and I can say which idea specifically. In my campaign, when we were being questioned by the Karen Residents Association, what will you do differently? What will you do to help? You know, there is a situation at the roundabout from Karen Shopping Center of the hawkers who are encroaching on the road. So what will you do to help that? So I said, we can't wait for the appropriation from county. We know the problem of the government. So there's no MCA running here that can lie to you guys or even ourselves that you'll go and argue your case at Nairobi County and get the amount of money required to remove the hawkers from the roads. Because those guys need proper structures. That's all that's missing. Like they get something nice and like a sanitation block or something, and it will really be nice. Everyone will want to go there. Even I enjoy your occasional chapo, or you know, from one of those, or a nice soda, or a quick M-Pesa apple. It's really nice if they're still there. So how do we create a win-win situation? My solution was, rather than lie to people about I will shout for you in the county parliament, we get you guys in an association. You know, once you're in an association, then having the political goodwill, it's very easy to call donors. You see, when you call donors, that's when now they can fund, even if it's on a loan basis. They can fund for some of these structures to be put up there, and now we can create. There'll be a source of money. You see, and that's what happened. And after election, it didn't even take like 2 months. Oh, I don't know what it was called, but I saw them like they're registering people for an association, and I was like, it wasn't even in your manifesto. You know, and I was like,
so it just so you had a good idea.
And the guy is a good friend of mine. I'm like, either way, I'm happy to see that you're helping people, because that was my real issue. Help people, unaona. But my point here is different. These ideas I sold, unaona. Did people care about the ideas or the integrity or all those things, you know?
They care about who is going.
So they were just waiting. People were just waiting. You know, when will you finish the speech? We get to the part we're waiting for. You get? And I understand. I don't even blame any of them. We are waiting for Aziri, buy for us lunch now, you know? You know, you can't. There's one guy, remember, just up a stage, Karen. I told him, my campaign, I'm running my campaign and I'm not giving anyone money. And he laughed. He laughed. He went to the other corner, laughed over there, came back, laughed again, and was like
that was the biggest joke he has ever
you
had.
can't be serious. You cannot be serious. He went again and came back. He even chucked some money. He said, me, I'll give you money. It's fine.
What?
He gave me like 200 bob, I think. He gave me, like, it was that funny to him. He's like, you go be serious and then come back. You know, so I get it. I know the games people play is that it's Kenyans who push us
to act that way. Yeah.
And then when the person sits on that seat, you really think, how is it humanly fair?
Yeah.
You know, watch it say fair, leave possible alone. That this guy who really wanted to do great things for you, you know, you never spared a chance to fleece this guy.
Yeah.
And you expect when they sit there, they will not fleece you at all.
Yeah.
How?
So they win the seat wounded as well.
They win the seat very wounded. And now when you see a politician who's been in the game for 30 good years.
That has been the cycle for 30 years.
They have endured Kenyans for 30 good years. Unaona? And then that guy becomes president. You really honestly believe, in all fairness, I'm not even going to point fingers that you expect the first order of business
is to take care of you.
Not even my words.
Wow. So, as we wind up, what do you think is the silliest law we have in this nation?
I think there are many. I'll just pick one or two that I can remember.
Like, it makes no sense. There's no reason why this law should be.
Yes, there are actually many. But the one that is on my mind, thinking about it, is there's a law on selling indigenous seeds. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What does it say?
So it says, I think it should be like Seeds and Varieties Act, Section 10 there, subsection 4. Yeah, it should be that one. So it says you are not supposed to sell seeds unless you are a licensed seller
of seeds.
You see? So, and they define selling as barter trade as well. So now you have to ask, where do people get seeds? In our country, in Africa, don't even remain here. Since time immemorial. See, you plant the ones you had from, I don't know, Mesopotamia. And then you save some, and then you eat the rest from a granary. And then if your stores goes bad, you go get from your neighbor. You know, you give them a chicken, they give you a couple of seeds, you plant.
So you're supposed to be licensed to do that.
It exists in our day and age. You see, and this is the funny part. Now you've had this whole talk about GMO and all that. So now the problem with now genetically modified varieties, they tend to be cannibalistic.
They eat on the other.
Yes, so when they cross-pollinate, then the other ninis get the genetics that will ensure some other plants won't grow.
And of course they don't tell us that.
Who? Why? What we'll have with that land effectively is whoever is selling the GMOs will be the only one who is able to sell seeds, because the other seeds will come and plant, they won't grow. Or they won't yield something. There will be a problem.
Wow.
But if you plant these GMO ones, the yield is crazy. Unaona? So they effectively commercialize, farming by and large. And what do we do generally as a country? If you think about it, tunapanda tu mimea za kukula. And that's it. And maybe that is the silliest one that will just go.
What would you say is the most profound one? Like, you think about this law and I'm like, yes, Kenya, you got this right.
Yeah, so I was thinking, because you were talking about law and masculinity, there was a law that I thought was profound, but it's now repealed. It used to be in the Sexual Offences Act, Section 38. So Section 38 stated that if you falsely accuse someone of a sexual offense, then you go into jail for the term that this guy would have gone.
Wow.
Unaona? And I know right now, like many people who are like into gender politics will be up in arms. You know, that could be anyone, Nini. But we know by and large falls on men. You know. So it will be the women going to jail.
If you are found to have falsely accused.
Yes. But they repealed this law. It's no longer there.
Oh.
So I think then the only law that is really, to me, the most profound one is Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. You know, that all sovereign power belongs to the people. You know, and that power may be exercised through democratically elected representatives. And this power is then immediately delegated to the three arms of government.
Legislative,
Yeah.
executive,
And judicial.
See, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep in class.
You're doing well. You're doing well. So why this is profound is because that's what's lost on Kenyans.
Yeah.
And the current situation.
It's not conscious to us.
It's not conscious, it doesn't apply.
Yeah.
And I'll put it this way. It's a privilege for you to meet, say, the president of this country or the minister of a certain mini, or, you know, but really think of it. This is your servant. This is your employee.
Yeah.
It should be his privilege to meet
come
you.
and meet you. Yeah.
You know, because they are exercising your power.
Yeah.
You know, they are doing the thing that you delegated for them. You know, so when you're busy there, you know, running around and being afraid of all these people and
them harassing you,
you know,
on the
and
road
harassing
they have
you
gun,
on the
gun
road,
lads,
and you know, the works.
Yeah.
Well, they are powerful people, they can do it, you know. But in reality is, you know, that power actually is yours.
It's the people's.
Is you as a Kenyan.
Yeah.
And maybe to be a bit controversial,
Yeah.
think about the housing,
Yeah.
you know,
Tax, yeah.
levy. If you have a right to property, Article 40, then your house is your property, right? Who's supposed to protect your right to property?
The government.
The government. If you have a salary, senor, so it is your property.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to protect your property?
Yeah.
It's the government. Then how is it then? It's the government
That
that
is
can
taking.
take your money without you agreeing to it.
Yeah. Oh, so that has been the controversy with this whole.
So that's the underlying controversy. I doubt anyone is really talking about it that way.
Yeah.
But the real controversy is if you as a government, you are my employee, you are my delegate, you know, then why aren't you doing the job I gave you to do? You know, and that is literally the first article of our constitution.
Wow. Final question. Okay. Is Sudi a single man?
Oh my God, that's the one.
No, that's not the question. It's building. It's building to something.
Okay.
So is Sudi a single man? Is he dating? Is he married?
No.
Yeah.
I'm very single.
You are very single.
I'm very single.
Okay.
I have an eye out. Nimeweka masikio kwa ground.
Okay. So guys, applications mnaweza tuma. So the question that I wanted to ask, if you are to invent a law,
okay, invent. Okay.
like this law does not exist.
Okay.
You are the one to come up with it.
Wow.
If you are to invent a law about relationships or marriage,
Okay.
what law would that be?
Very good. That one is easy. I thought it would be hard. The law will be everyone who wants to get into marriage will have to go through mandatory therapy and life skills for about 1 year.
For example?
Like financial management,
Okay.
emotional management, what's it called? Emotional quotient classes.
Yeah.
You know, those things. And therapy, so that you deal with the past and
The issues
and those
back,
issues, self-esteem,
Yeah.
and you know, all those things. So that, like, before we tell you now, come to church, sit and do.
So by the time you are in premarital class, you
Yes.
should have done this.
Yes, like premarital class will be big business after that law.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
as in,
Definitely.
and we'll have like some classic ones. We'll have, you know, hey, you went to premarital at Brook Marriage Hall. You know, there'll be that. So like it will be very structured and mandatory.
Yeah.
Like failure to do so, if you get married without, you know,
And
that
you have to
laws
be
certificate,
certified.
you have
So
to be
you-
certified.
yes.
Like it's something you submit as the Attorney General
Before
to
you are
get a
given your
marriage
marriage certificate. Wow.
Yes,
I love that.
I will invent that law.
I would love that.
Today, like,
I love
give me
that.
the powers, you know.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So guys, as you've heard, this is Sudi Mairura. This is the Truest Measure podcast, like I said, where we celebrate men and the wonderful things that they do. So you know the 4 magical things that you need to do: like, share, comment, and subscribe. Not just so that YouTube can push this to more people, but so that we can know whether this conversation is really enlightening you as a you know, as a Kenyan and as a man. And the ladies who are also watching. Yeah, so Sudi, there's something we have for you here. In this podcast, in the Truest Measure podcast, we believe in giving men their flowers and they are still alive.
Oh,
Okay? So this is just to show you that we see you,
all right.
we recognize you, we are watching what you are doing, and we are grateful. Yeah,
I'm
so
honored.
I'm not very familiar or conversant with the meanings of flowers and their colors. So this was specifically picked by my wife.
Oh, wow.
This is eucalyptus and baby breath.
Yeah.
And basically it's supposed to symbolize that you're a breath of fresh air
Oh, wow.
for this generation.
Eish.
So karibu sana.
Shukran.
Yes, that's your flower.
Yes.
That's your
Forgive
flower.
me if I don't know how to react with flowers.
Yes, I know. Part of
thing
it
that
is to
doesn't
make you
happen,
awkward. Eh?
you know?
Yeah, because we know many men are awkward with receiving flowers.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
It's never actually happened before.
yes.
Never
So
received
congratulations, this is your first time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in.